but that's the name of the thing that's gone wrong.
Julian Richards, a former intelligence analyst at GCHQ and now director for the Centre of Security and Intelligence Studies at the University of Birmingham. Welcome to you. Thank you very much for joining us. And what's your analysis?
The television studio has gone out. This is a separate one they're using for the time being.
Awakening. This is a very the scale of this is pretty shocking and will raise all sorts of red flags about. And it raises all sorts of questions about our increasing dependency in really across a wide range of sectors, many of which are core infrastructure sectors.
Travel and GP surgeries, I don't know what that's about.
Specific pieces of...
But all the airports have got problems.
Specific pieces of software. So, on the one hand, the winners in the software ecosystem are the ones that will sell to a huge range of organisations, public and private sector. So many organisations will end up becoming quite dependent on specific pieces of software like this CrowdStrike software. But when it goes wrong, this shows how dangerous that dependency is and how we really need to think very carefully.
If everything's out,
so often this evening,
surely we're vulnerable, aren't we?
So by the extent of the repercussions of what has happened globally.
Well, in some ways not, because rather like, I mean, we use medical analogies a lot for cyber attacks. We use words like virus and infections and so on. And it's very similar to a health pandemic in a way. The speed with which it can spread, the speed with which it can affect related systems. This is going to become more and more of a risk in a way, and many of us were kind of expecting a really big situation like this to happen at some point. It was almost a question of not whether but when.
Is there still then a logic to organisations using the same software? I mean, the positives are compatibility, the systems, but do we need to rethink that now, that we can't be all using the same system, because when it does go down, everyone's affected?
We certainly need to rethink. I mean, one of the perhaps slightly positive elements of this situation is that it's going to cause a lot of strategic thinking about how to be more resilient to these situations. There's kind of a conundrum there, because as you've implied, on the one hand, it's much cheaper and more effective to purchase software that is proven to work very well, that has risen to the top in the software ecosystem, and for reasons of compatibility, as you described, we have systems interacting with each other.
I don't understand why it's only travel and GP surgeries. Of course, unless they're the only people that use this system. They tried to install an upgrade or something, and it's gone completely berserk.
Not only can they fall over themselves, but as we've seen here, they can cause problems with all sorts of related and connected systems, in this case with all sorts of Microsoft Windows systems. So a lot of rethinking is going to need to be done here.
And part of the thinking will be around cost, because presumably non-standard software is much more expensive. Getting something off the shelf is a much cheaper option.
It is, and the governments and other organisations, the price of software has gone down over the years, as has the price of all sorts of technology, as it's become more competitive, as there's more players out there, there's more to choose from. It's to create something yourself and have to buy in the expertise that you need to create a bespoke system. It's much more expensive now. So, there is an economic logic to...
You're going to get yourself something to eat?
The tools and the software
or not?
That works well and is proven to work well.
You haven't had your eggs while you've been here, have you? I haven't touched them to make sure there's enough there for you.
What do you think that the next step is to achieve that resilience that everybody's been talking about today? What needs to be done to protect against something like this from ever happening again? Or is that impossible?
Well, I don't know if it's impossible. It's going to be very, very challenging because of the way that all of our systems and networks, all of our
oh my goodness, just
really,
you got
has become so digitized.
You probably have no idea how many people use computers.
Rather like the pandemic in a way.
Corey does, for example.
We really need to learn the lessons
For his work, he uses a computer.
And all the people that work from home do it on computers, don't they?
So does Mum.
We need to think about
In her offices.
backup systems and backup mechanisms, some of which might be rather old-fashioned in a way. You know, the ability to move to more manual
So what's called
systems if it really goes wrong.
what things cause this
We need to
whole
think about that much more seriously.
computer
Some-
electricity outage?
Some company has decided to, a worldwide company, decided to install an upgrade, and it was a rogue upgrade, and it's affected everything. That's the only thing I can. I mean, I don't understand them, but.
Our Asia correspondent Nicole Johnston tells us how this outage affected the rest of the world.
Australia and New Zealand were the first part of the world to wake up to the news of this IT outage. And in Australia, some of the country's biggest broadcasters were affected.
I don't know what an outage is.
Channel 10 and the ABC. Long delays and problems at both Sydney and Melbourne International Airports. Virgin Australia was affected. And then also issues at universities and Victorian police. People had problems just trying to buy groceries and pay for their petrol. So a real issue across Australia still being dealt with, and a similar situation across Asia.
It sounds like something brand new they just invented, and without like properly testing it, they put it straight into work right away.
Yeah.
And it's look like it's just caused a stupid thing like this.
It's the first day of the school holidays, so everybody at the airport, a lot of the schools broke up yesterday. Some have got broken up today, most of them broke up yesterday. So a lot of parents have gone straight away on holiday, and there they are stuck at airports.
Special programme continues after the break. We'll speak to a GP after thousands of surgeries and hospitals saw their systems crash.
Well, that was very clever thinking, wasn't it?